Good morning, Malta and Gozo, and welcome to another episode of Lovin Daily. I am Sam Vassallo, joined by Yannick Patch, and here are today's headlines. So, the Giorgio brothers ask for pardon to implicate current and former minister in crimes. Meanwhile, there's a Dingley standoff between activists and Infrastructure Malta over Dingley Road project continues. Vince Muscat reveals chilling details of Carmel Kirkop murder plot. Meanwhile, Justine Caruana is hospitalized after an overdose on legal medication. And lastly, tributes pour in for Ramiro Malia, who died in Ormi gas leak. Now stay tuned because we have a very special guest today. We have Wayne Flask from Moviment Graffitti, who will be giving us all the details about this Dingley standoff. Take it away with the first story, shall you?
So our first headline is about Alfred and George Giorgio, the two of the men charged with the murder of Daphne Caruana Galizia, who have requested a presidential pardon to reveal information about the murder and other high-profile crimes. And they say that they can provide tangible and reliable information that isn't simply hearsay, and have promised to implicate both a sitting and the former minister. The Daphne Caruana Galizia Foundation has said, however, that giving them a pardon would deny justice for Daphne.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're handing
Everyone
out...
wants a pardon.
Everyone wants a pardon. It's like we're handing them out like hot pastizzi. I don't know. I really believe that something needs to change in this way, and we can't be negotiating, giving vital evidence to police with pardons here and there and whatever. But I digress. On to our next story, a very, very hot subject and issue right now. There's, the third day today of a standoff between activists and workers from Infrastructure Malta over roadworks in Dingley. Now, essentially, activists from Moviment Graffitti have blocked the works of Infrastructure Malta workers. Basically, essentially, it's a scheme to connect two alleys with a main road in Dingley. And it threatens arable land, very old trees, and even a medieval church from the 15th century. Now, Moviment Graffitti claims that they don't have the right permits. However, Ian Borch says that they don't even need them because this was part of a scheme to go forward, going way back 2006. It's been very tense. The confrontations have been very tense. Moviment Graffitti have been going live with their confrontations, and it seems like they're not backing down anytime soon.
More from court. Yesterday, self-confessed murderer Vince Muscat described chilling details about the 2015 plot to kill lawyer Carmel Kirkop. Muscat claimed that he was paid €20,000 for his role in the murder, which he carried out together with George De Giorgio and Jamie Vella.
And speaking of politics, Justine Caruana, and very grim news, has been hospitalized after an overdose on legal medication. So well-informed sources told Lovin Malta that the education minister is currently being treated in Malta today after an overdose on legal medication. Reportedly, it's tranquilizers. We don't know if this was intentional or not. Obviously, we wish her a speedy recovery. Justine Caruana has been under immense pressure. She's been subjected to a lot of criticism for reportedly handing Daniel Bukovic, footballer, sorry if I pronounced his surname wrong, a €5,000 a month job. Her estranged husband was implicated as a major leak in the Daphne Caruana Galizia murder, and they've reportedly also had an intimate relationship with Jürgen Fenech. So, again, as I said, speedy recovery to you, Justine Caruana, and on to our last story, shall we?
Our last story is another sad story from yesterday, in which a young man lost his life after inhaling gas from a leaking heater. The young man has been identified as Ramiro Malia. Tributes have been pouring in since yesterday, with Malia being described as a gentle and caring soul.
Yes, so, rest in peace, and our thoughts are with friends and family affected. Now stay tuned because we have our special guest, Wayne Flask, coming up. But before that, here is a clip of an interview Lovin Malta did with Transport Minister Ian Borch.
Bid-dovut rispett, jiġifieri raħal twelidi li l-poplu taħad Dingley f'dani 3 darbiet sabiex inmexxih fil-lokal, f'dani darbtejn biex nirrappreżentah fil-Parlament. Naf in-nies isem u kunjom, kemm tan-nies li joqogħdu hemmhekk, kemm tan-nies li joqogħdu f'ħadd Dingley mhux hemmhekk, u kemm tal-ftit nies minn ħadd Dingley illi rajt mal-moviment. Però jiena ma nħodix kontra min qiegħed b'mod attiv hemmhekk. U din it-triq fuq talbiet tar-residenti ta' sqaq il-mużew u ta' sqaq daħlet is-Sinja iddeċidejna illi niftħuha. Appellaw, waqafna, ma minna xejn, kellek il-deċiżjoni tal-era, erġajna morna nibdew, reġgħu appellaw, erġajna waqafna, u kellek il-ħamis li għadda deċiżjoni ta' tribunal. Issa aħna nemmnu fis-salta ta' dritt jew ma nemmnux. U d-deċiżjoni ta' tribunali għalli din it-triq għandha ssir.
Mhux veru li m'hemmx permessi allura.
Le, diġà għednija kemm il-darba. Però forsi iktar hekk. Ikun hemm iktar clickbaits jekk wieħed jgħid bla permessi. Il-moviment jgħidlek. Issa il-planning, staqsu l-planning, illum il-planning mhux taħti. Għamlet 3 snin taħti, illum il-planning mhux taħti. Ila sena u nofs mhux taħti. Morru staqsu l-planning. Jekk hemm bżonn il-permessi,
Jekk
hemmx bżonn permess jew le.
Ġbir m'hemmx permess.
It-toroq allinjati fil-pjanijiet lokali ilha stabbilita illi dawk jistgħu jinfetħu. Tajjeb, u għandhom jinfetħu le mhux bla permess, il-liġi huwa l-permess. Issa qegħdin jikkampjaw. Jiena nsellmilhom jiġifieri nirringrazzjahom tal-efforts ġenwini, naħseb li dawn huma nies ġenwini jiena. Il-messaġġ tagħhom mhux għax jaħsbu li aħna m'għandniex raġun, imma li jridu jwasslu messaġġ fuq borġ fraħal twelidu. Jiena naħseb li il-messaġġ wasal u n-nies qegħdin jgħiduli iftaħ dik it-triq li ġila pjanata snin sħaħ. Ma nistgħux nibqgħu naħdmu waqt li huma qegħdin hemmhekk, jiġifieri, mela jiena bja kont nistenna lilhom jistidnuni mmur hemmhekk. Kont qiegħed kabinett, jiġifieri, però ma ħassejtx li għandi mmur hemmhekk nikkonfronta ħaġa oħra, huma jafu li aħna għandna l-obbligu li nagħmlu dik id-driq. Huma jafu da, huma jridu jibgħatu messaġġ f'ħadding li jien naħseb illi qiegħda tkun counterproductive. Imma mhix kwistjoni ta' good publicity, jien jinteressa nimqar minn dak il-bniedem wieħed ġo l-isqaq tal-mużew jew ġo daħlet is-Sinja. Illi ilu jistenna din it-triq li għaddit liġi mill-Parlament fi 2006. U jien fl-obbligu tiegħi illi dik nagħmilha.
Welcome back. We're here with activists from Moviment Graffitti, Wayne Flask. Now let's get right into it. This is the 3rd day of confrontations between activists and workers from Infrastructure Malta over these works in Dingley. Can you give us an idea of what's going on the ground?
Okay, today, as you said, is the 3rd day of activity in Dingley. This morning, Infrastructure Malta staff showed up to carry out some unspecified works relating to water, to the water supply to build a road, which leaves us a bit baffled because, as far as we know, if it's only going to be a road, there's no need for water services to be passed down this particular road. I think this is another indication that they are laying down services because the area is going to be built up. And again, they haven't shown us the necessary permits for these works. Malta jek ma importax.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Ħaġa grazzi tal-istedina, aħna ma nħobbux normalment nitolbu rights of reply meta jitkellem xi ħadd, però l-bieraħ bqajna sorpriżi u ħadnija kważi bid-daħqa il-volum u l-kreattività tal-gideb li qal il-Ministru Borx mhux dwarna biss għax dwarna ma ġara xejn, iżda dwar dak li għaddej ġewwa ħad-Dingli. Hemm ħafna affarijiet li qal. L-ewwel punt, it-triq li rid jgħaddi ħad-Dingli huwa tinsisti li hija fl-iskema allura għandu l-obbligu li jaqbad jagħmilha. U mhuwiex il-każ, it-triq mhijiex kompletament fl-iskema, it-triq ġejja iżjed wiesa milli suppost, in-nofs it-triq iż-żejjed se jiġi fuq d-żed. Jiġifieri dan ifisser li hemm bżonn il-permess mill-awtorità tal-pjanar. Il-liġijiet jitkellmu ċar. Issa biex nibqa' fuq il-permessi, Infrastructure Malta għadhom marru l-ħadd x'inhu ġej, baqgħu jirrifjutaw lir Repubbliku x'hemm mhux m'hemm xi pjanat għal dik iż-żona, sal-bieraħ ma kellhomx lanqas il-clearance mill-Lands Department biex jibdew ix-xogħlijiet f'dik l-area. Jiġifieri il-Ministru l-bieraħ qal li f'Ottubru bdew waqfu, mbagħad reġgħu bdew waqfu x'kien hemm appelli għaddejjin u fuq l-appelli ħaniftaħ breket oħra għax dik hija gidba oħra. Min Ottubru law din il-clearance mill-lands għada ma ġiġ. Sal-bira f'nofsinhar u anke war nofsinhar għax taqsejna l-personal ta' infrastructure Malta hemmhekk fuq il-post din il-karta, din il-birka karta mill-lands għada ma ġiġ. Jifri meta l-Ministru jgħid li għandu l-permessi qiegħed jikdeb. Tista' taraw il-filmati, xejru ħafna karti minn ħafna entitajiet differenti iżda mill-lands ma ġi xejn. U hija ovvja li l-pjanta ma jgħidux jiruhom għaliex se jinqabdu li jridu jiftħu żoni jew DZ għall-iżvilupp. Fuq l-appell ma kienx jagħti permess l-Infrastructure Malta jibdew ix-xogħlijiet. L-appell sar quddiem l-IPRT li hija Diviżjoni tal-Planning Authority dwar appelli għamilna aħna lill-ERA, organizzazzjoni oħra li timxi tfid mal-PA u jew taħt l-istess Ministru, biex ma jinqalawx is-siġar tal-ħarrub li ilhom hemmhekk 300 sena. Imkien ma hemm miktub li jistgħu jibdew jagħmlu x-xogħlijiet hemmhekk. Issa speċjalment jekk qed ngħidu li nos din it-triq skemata ser tiġi fuq DZ. Jaf il-Ministru suppost għax huwa għamel 3 snin jekk missier żball il-Ministru tal-Ippjanar suppost jafu dan il-proċess tal-ippjanar. Il-bira ħabkużana li qed naqalgħu clickbait, semma clickbait u mhux clickbait għax ngħidu l-xogħlijiet qegħdin isiru legalment.
He said that it was more of an attack to him in the town that he grew up in.
Mela, sena salja. Simpatiku l-Ministru Borx meta joħroġ bihom daw. L-ewwel nett, il-Ministru Borx meta jakkużana bi clickbait qed jinjora l-fatt li hemm diżlivell enormi fir-riżorsi ta' komunikazzjoni li għandna aħna. U r-riżorsi ta' komunikazzjoni li għandu u ifaqqas u bajħ għandu żewġ TV stations li jistgħu jilqgħu fl-studios waħdu mingħajr kontradittorju, jwieġeb xi mistoqsijiet bil-kumdita kollha, għandu xi arranġamenti ta' pubbliċità oħrajn, iżda biex ngħidu l-verità. Aħna la jinteressawna, la tinteressana l-pubbliċità u laqqas naffordjawha. Aħna maħniex la kumpanija li tbieħ prodotti kummerċjali, oqqas għandna politiċi, pubbliċità x'użu għandna liha. Issa meta l-Ministru qed jakkuża lilna bi clickbait, qed waqqas żuffiett ukoll l-elettorat tiegħu, speċjalment il dawk il-bdiewa li kellmuna, il-bdiewa li kellmu anke lill-medja, kostituenti tiegħu stess ukoll, f'ħadding l-istess li lmentaw bil-mod illegali u sigrit kif taġixxi Infrastructure Malta. Qed jipprovi umilja wkoll l-elettorat tiegħu permezz tal-proċess tal-ippjanar u kif qed sew suppost jafu dan il-proċess. Issa jekk għandna Ministru ex-Ministru tal-Ippjanar li ma jafx il-proċess tal-ippjanar jista' jkun li din hija raġuni għalfejn iktar kmieni fl-2020 teħidlu il-portafol tal-ippjanar minn il-Prim Ministru. Gidba oħra, li t-toroq skemati huma obbligu. L-ewwel nett din hija ipokrizija kbira minn naħa tal-Ministru Borġ. Mela, meta kien hemm il-protesta tas-7 ta' Settembru, qal il-protesta qed issir kontra l-liġijiet li nkitbu taħt il-PN meta kien Ministru George Policino, liġijiet tal-2006. Iżda x'għamel il-Ministru Borġ? Mhux talli ma bdiex ir-riforma ta' dawn il-liġijiet li huwa jsejħilhom difettużi, kif kienet difettuża pereżempju l-policy tal-pompi tal-petrol. Iżda ra kif għamel biex jisfrutta dawk il-liġijiet difettużi biex jinfetħu iżjed toroq u hekk isir iżjed bini. U dan huwa eżatt kif għamel bil-fuel station policy li baqa' ma rrevedix. Hemm bost eżempji ta' kif il-Ministru niesu qed jaħdmu dwar din il-biċċa tal-local plans dawn qabdu il-local plans tal-ħura kollha ta' Malta, hawnhekk nistgħu ngħaddu triq, hawnhekk nistgħu nagħmlu hekk, nistgħu nagħmlu hekk. Kull biċċa konkos li setgħu jagħmlu fuq il-ħdura, iċ-ċans se joħduh. U hemm każijiet oħrajn li l-poplu laqas jafbihom. Ġejja triq oħra f'nofs li ifħaż-żabbar. Ġejja roundabout oħra l-imġar. Hemm il-famuża marina tax-Xemxija li hija taħt Transport Malta li wkoll hija taħt il-Dekasteru tal-Ministru Borġ. Dawn huma 3 eżempji żgħar ħafna min jaf x'hemm għad naqqas nafu bihom. Jien ma nafx in-nies id-daħri ma jien nara ipokrizija li tikkritika lill-gvern ta' qablek għaliex għamel ċertu affarijiet ħżiena. U mbagħad tisfrutta l-istess liġijiet u toħroġ xeba direct orders lil kontratturi tas-sotu għall-infrastruttura. Issa nafu li minn dan kollu anke ġit-triq ta' Ħaddingli huma ftit in-nies li se jgawdu u nixtieq nistaqsi lill-Ministru u li Ħaddingli jgħid li jafu daqshekk sew. Kellek rwol Ministru fir-reviżjoni tal-local plans fl-2015? Il-local plans ta' Ħaddingli. Nibqgħu Ħaddingli. Issa semmew ħafna skużi, pereżempju, x'sar minna l-famuża fire engine li kien semma Frederick Azzopar li kien qal li l-isqaqien għandhom jiġu ġonġuti biex tkun tista' tgħaddi fire engine. It-tnejn fil-għoldu daħal trakk minn ġol ħaxix, daħal komdu ħafna jiġifier fire engine kienet tgħaddi u kif. Issa meta Borġ kif qed inti l-ewwel għalinna li qed nippruvaw nagħmlu punt dwar EM Borġ fil-ħal ta' EM Borġ, naħseb li qed jagħti wisq importanza lilu nnifsu, mhuwiex nifhemha din in-narrattiva tipprova jġib ruħu ta' Highlander u kulħadd huwa l-għadu tiegħu u huwa l-vittma, però aħna ma nebda interess territorjali la f'Ħaddingli u lanqas imkien u din hija ħaġa li l-Ministru Borx ma jistax jgħidha. U nixtieq infakkar ukoll is-semmija ta' Lovin Malta. Inti stess kont tib tal-istorja ta' Ħaddingli kienet ħarġa propri minn Lovin Malta, ma ġietx minn il-Moviment Graffitti. Issa tista' tiġibni inti jista' jwieġeb kulħadd Lovin Malta. Din l-istorja vvintajni aħna l-clickbait jew ġiet minn għandkom għax għamiltu xogħolkom kif suppost. Issa, il-punt finali, it-tnej, il-Ministru qal li ma ġiex għax kellu l-kabinett. Tajjeb, it-tlieta ma kienx hemm il-kabinett, l-erba' ma kienx hemm il-kabinett, il-Ministru baqa' ma neżilx. Il-Ministru Borġ jibża mill-konfront magħna ma' attivisti oħrajn, ma' NGOs oħrajn. Se nibqgħu hemmhekk, Ministru Borġ, sakemm tinżel u taffronta r-realtà, sakemm tinżel u tispjega lir-residenti x'hemm ippjanat u sakemm tagħti garanziji li mhux se jinbnew żoni fuq diżert li hemm f'Ħaddingli bis-saħħa ta' din it-triq. U nagħmel appell ieħor lilek, Ministru Borġ. Tax tistaħba wara l-intervisti waħdek fl-istudju. Ejja nagħmlu dibattitu bejnek u bejn membru tal-Moviment Graffitti. Ħanna naraw il-verità mbagħad. Lest il-aħħa l-istedina tagħna, Ministru. Grazzi.
So are you clear? You're going to Graffitti. You're going to be on the ground until these works stop.
We are going to be on the ground as long as we need to be on the ground. These works have to stop. They are illegal. They have been carried out in an abusive manner. Infrastructure in Malta, their staff and contractors have behaved abusively towards residents and towards us. There were at least 3 incidents where activists risked their physical health. On Monday, a Hymac operator almost hit us. Yesterday, there was a very unpleasant incident with a chainsaw being brandished a few inches away from an activist's foot. And this morning, there was also another incident involving the Hymac. This is standard for infrastructure in Malta. We have seen this happening very often, not just the violence, but also the arrogance in the way residents are treated. To date, again, I will say again, infrastructure in Malta have not shown us all the necessary permits they are claiming they have in hand.
Do you think the local council is also arrogant because they came out supporting the project?
The local council came out in support of the project 2 days after the work started. On Monday morning, I was in the reception of the local council. The receptionist had no idea that the works had to commence, so the local council was not even informed. I was there because a resident of the area suffered damages to his property or suffered damages to his property because a wall was dropped down with a Hymac. A wall adjacent to his property was destroyed and possibly hit his residence. This resident also had no idea that the works were going to start, and he was promised that an architect from the contractor would be visiting the site before the work started. Works started at 6:30 in the morning. We got there at 7. They had already cleared a huge part of the area. So, I mean, they were lying in wait. They were just waiting for Thursday's appeal to strike. I mean, the local council has its responsibilities. There's also something I would like to add about the local council. On Monday, I confronted the mayor and asked him if he knew that there's the possibility that there's going to be a new area that will become developable, that can be developed after the new road is built. He stared at me blankly. We have reason to believe, and many people in Dingley have told us this, that there is someone in the local council who has a direct interest, I'm not saying the mayor, someone in the local council who has a direct interest in this road being built, again, because of development.
And there you have it. That was Wayne Flask from Moviment Graffitti. That was all from us, and have a day full of lovin'.